Welcome to Funny Bunny Story Time. Our today's book is Elf Submarine. Let's read. The wise old elf has some exciting news. The elves in the elf factory have made a new toy. May I present the elf submarine? He says proudly. Does it float? Asks King Thistle. The wise old elf frowns. Of course, the elf submarine floats. We carefully choose this day to test the submarine, he replies, because there are no other boats on the lake. Suddenly, Ben Elf spots a boat on the lake. It's Redbeard, he cries. The elf pirate Ben is right. Redbeard is sailing towards them in his pirate ship. Should the ship be leaning like that? Wonders Princess Holly. No, says Nanny Plum. It is loaded up with too much treasure. Curses! Bellows Redbeard, jumping off the side. The ship and the treasure sink down to the bottom of the lake. Ben and Holly feel very sorry for Redbeard. Me treasure, he cries. How will I get it back again? If only we had some way of sailing underwater to look for it, sighs King Thistle. Ben looks at the elf submarine. It is just the thing for rescuing pirate treasure, Captain Redbeard, says King Thistle. Our submarine is at your service. I'll be needing a crew, says Redbeard. Mr. Elf, Nanny Plum, Ben, and Holly all climb aboard. The elf submarine sets sail. Mr. Elf, bellows Redbeard, steer the submarine. Aye, aye, says Mr. Elf. Ben and Holly, adds Redbeard, wind up the engine. Aye, aye, says Ben and Holly. What should I do? Wonders Nanny Plum. Redbeard grins. You just sit there and look pretty, my little mermaid. Ugh, says Nanny Plum. Mr. Elf has a tale to tell as he steers the submarine. I used to be a sailor, he sighs, but I'm not anymore. Why not? Asks Redbeard. Mr. Elf's voice is just a little whisper. Big Bad Berry. Big Bad Berry is the biggest, most giganticest fish in the world has ever seen. He's eaten 9 of Dad's boats, explains Ben. Redbeard gasps. Big Bad Berry sounds very bad indeed. The elf submarine dives down to the bottom of the lake. It's so pretty, cries Holly. Ben looks through the porthole. Suddenly, he sees it. Redbeard's boat. A shadow falls over the submarine. It must be a big underwater cloud, decides Ben. Captain Redbeard shakes his head. You don't get clouds underwater. Shiver me timbers, he cries. It's a fish. Mr. Elf turns pale. It's not a cloud, and it's not just a fish. It's Big Bad Berry. He's swimming towards Redbeard's boat, cries Holly. No, thunders Redbeard. My treasure. Too late. Big Bad Berry swallows the ship whole, just like it was a grape. Nanny Plum walks in with a tray of tea. What a shame, she sighs. Shall we go home then? Before Mr. Elf can drive the submarine home, it all goes dark. Where are we? Asks Holly. I'll shave me beard off if there's not something fishy going on, says Redbeard. Turn the lights on. Mr. Elf, the crew spots Redbeard's ship and all of Mr. Elf's old boats too. We must be inside the big bad berry, says Ben. Ben is right. The elf submarine is inside the belly of a big fish. How are we going to get out? Asks Holly. If we could get Big Bad Berry to open his mouth, we could just sail out, says Ben. How do we do that? Groans Mr. Elf. Nanny Plum decides to phone the wise old elf for a bit of advice. Someone needs to talk to the fish, says wise old elf. Nanny Plum smiles. I can speak fish. Good, replies the wise old elf. Tell Big Bad Berry a joke to make him laugh. Everybody climbs back into the elf submarine. Nanny Plum tries to think of a good fish joke. I know, she says. Glug 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 glug. A deep rumble shakes the elf submarine. Big Bad Berry is starting to chuckle. I think he liked the joke, whispers Nanny Plum. Big Bad Berry laughs so hard he spits out the elf submarine. Full steam ahead, roars Redbeard. The elf submarine floats up to the surface. We did it, shouts Ben, opening the lid and climbing out. Hooray, cheer King and Queen Thistle. It's a shame the treasure's lost, said wise old elf. It's not lost, replies Redbeard. I know where it is. The captain flashes a piratey grin. No one will ever find his treasure in the belly of Big Bad Berry. See you soon. The end. Thank you.